Hi, Torah lovers. Welcome to Tea for Torah, the YouTube channel by and for trans Jews to reclaim our texts and our God and look good doing it, obviously. I'm Lexi, and oh my gosh, I need to change your name.
I'm Reuven Betzalel. My pronouns are kind of on a tiered system. They, them is fine. Z here is fine. I'm 3 raccoons in a trench coat. They're all Jewish, but they're all specifically different types of Jewish raccoons. I'm a night shift worker. I work in a sleep lab, and so my professional world is full of sleep and dreams. And if you want to talk weird Jewish sleep health sometimes, hit me up. Also, obviously, trans people are divine. All of the original Jewish transcestors of Genesis are also trans. I headcanon them all as trans, and you can't stop us.
Wow. Way to play yourself in. Learning some Zohar today. Let's open up these gates. I want to do a little bit of the Aramaic. I think it's important to get at least a little bit of a taste. Rabbi Elazar Patach. Sa'u maro menechem u're'u mi vara'eleh. Rabbi Elazar opened. Lift up on high your eyes and see. Who created these? Here's a verse from Yeshayahu. Lift up your eyes on high and see who created these. So what is like the simple meaning of that verse outside the Zohar?
Well, obviously, when you see, when you lift your eyes up and you're somebody who thinks that way, you're going to think about how amazing the sky is and like, how did we get to this point that the sky was made? And then you'll think of God and how wonderful.
But it's that same kind of feeling of, like, you look upon the world and you ultimately go, like, is there a who behind this?
Wow. Yeah, beautiful. But that's not what the Zohar is going to do with this. Although I think the genius of the Zohar is that everything it says works on all levels. The simple meaning still works with what it's about to say. When you lift up your eyes on high, you will discover that the concealed Ancient One who sustains the question created these. Who is that? Who? It is called who because beyond it, there is no question there. We're at the very beginning of like what you could possibly be aware of. This one, who, is what is called the end of heaven above.
There's another 2 below, and it's called Ma. What?
What do you know? What have you contemplated? For what have you searched? All is concealed as before.
So we've got there's who, and then there's what.
Yeah.
It seems like the idea is like somehow you start with questioning and searching.
This is the thing that's the furthest up that we can perceive and understand is who.
Who? Yeah, it's a question.
Exactly.
You lift up your eyes on high and you're like, who created these? And you look and you use your mind and you search and you contemplate and you go from step to step to try to understand who created these. And you reach the very end. And then once you get there, what?
I mean, it feels very Jewish. There's never any answers.
Yeah. This is the beginning of the Zohar. And I think they're trying to set us up to be like, we're going to say a whole book's worth of things to you. Keep in mind, you actually have no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
And if you ever forget that all you are, that your whole life is between 2 questions, then you have failed.
And ultimately, like, are those not, like, the 2 big human questions? Like, who am I? and what have I done in this world? Like, what are my works and my actions? It's very clear in this, like, there's another below the who called the what, like, and
Yeah.
if you have to ask the question, what distinguishes the two, that means that they are not terribly different things.
Right. It feels like there's like me and then ma, and between there's Ela. Like there's who and there's
Mm.
what, and between there's these. Like as you go between who and what and who, you arrive at some kind of like substance or answer. But if you
Mm.
stop there, the Zohar says you have not actually done the full work.
Malkut being embedded in Keter, and that like you're just always looping back around into the process because otherwise you're not alive
Yeah.
anymore.
But the
Okay.
Zohar is going to basically link what we're saying here to as a definition of idol worship.
Ooh.
Let's dig into these a little bit. The thing we're drawing here is lift up your eyes on high and see who created these. And the Zohar is like, that is not a question, that's a statement. So Elijah came and asked Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi, do you know the meaning of who created these? Rabbi Shimon answered, these are the heavens in their array, the work of the Blessed Holy One. Elijah's going to say, that's not quite right. So Elijah said to me, Rabbi, the word was concealed within the Blessed Holy One, and they revealed it in the upper yeshiva. When concealed of all concealed, verged on being revealed, it produced at first a single point, which ascended to become thought. This is the creation of the Sphirot. This is the emanation of the universe. I don't know if I'm allowed to reveal these secrets on a YouTube channel, but here we go. So, like, I think in other words, we could say, everything that exists emanates from desire, the will to exist. And then it creates a single point, which is wisdom, which is thought. But it's not thought that has any content, it's like conscious, it's like the fact of consciousness. Will generates consciousness. Within, it drew all drawings, engraved all engravings, carved within the concealed holy lamp, a graving of a hidden design, holy of holies, the deep structure. The deep structure that emerges from thought, called me, who, the origin of structure. It exists and it doesn't exist. It is deep and hidden. It is called by no name but who. There is no there. There's only the asking of the question.
Oh. There's a thing in the Zohar about the clarity of something is found in its absence.
Oh.
As well, like we think that there's this solid point that we're standing on, this who, but if you keep really looking at it, you realize that none of it's solid. The clarity of it is its absence. If you're actually thinking about who you are on a regular basis, it is actually the lack of clarity that shows you that you are actually thinking about it. And if you have clarity about who you are regularly, you might not be thinking about it a lot.
I also want to add, I think the Zohar is talking about, if you think you know who God is...
Oh, absolutely.
...then you're wrong. In Return to the Place by Joel Hammer, there's a line in here which I believe is He'emad davar al boryo. Stand a thing on its clarity. But the word boryo, which is clarity, also means absence or nothingness.
Yes.
It means the pit, which is an empty space. Stand a thing on its emptiness is to stand a thing on its clarity.
I think it also is like a subtle reference to Yosef, right? So Yosef is the pillar of the world, the tzaddik, right? But also, who is trapped in a pit all the time. Also, like, let's, if we're going to talk about Yesod and about Yesod and about Yosef's own kind of transness, like, the pillar and the pit, like, they really are just morphologically kind of the same thing that just happened to get changed because of hormones, and pretending that they're different things is actually
wait.
Because Yosef is trans and because of the pillar and the pit.
You need to give me a second with that. The pillar is the pit.
We always make these jokes about the fact that Joseph is associated with genitals, right? Like in this traditional Kabbalistic mindset, but who is better to rectify what we have done to that in our binary nonsense than Joseph, who is so not binary and so, in the text, almost asexual, right? Doesn't make it about sex. In fact, says, no, Potiphar and Potiphar's wife, I'm not interested.
I'm still stuck on the pillar is the pit and the pit is the pillar, and it's both the same person.
Yeah. And morphologically, like, that's all we are. Like, it's the same stuff with just different
It's the same stuff.
hormones and some other stuff happening, and that's really all it
Yeah.
is. If we're gonna make it a Kabbalistic body thing that I know a lot of cis people do. A lot of people, cis people, go down that route, and it's, you know,
Yeah.
yet here is Yosef to say, no, that doesn't work either.
Wait,
Look at the biology, even, right?
Oh my god, we're gonna need to meet again and talk a whole episode about just that. Can we keep
Okay.
going? Because this is the
Absolutely.
real. It just keeps the hits keep on coming. So seeking to be revealed. So we're in who right now. The deep structure has emerged from thought. Seeking to be revealed, to be named, it garbed itself in a splendid, radiant garment and created Elah, these. The same way that the hidden of hiddens wanted to be revealed and created consciousness, who wanted to be revealed and created substance, these. The pit wanted to be revealed and created the pillar. The pit got hard.
Well, and also without something coming out of the pit, it's potentially that you won't notice it, right? You know, people fall into pits all the time in the natural world. If we're even making it a more removed from the human body discussion.
Elah attained the name. These letters joined with those culminating in the name Elohim. Like, this is the dad joke that creates the world. I just want to make sure people like follow this.
Yes.
That there's who is the beginning of what we can be conscious of. And in Hebrew, the word who is me, mem yud. And the line is, who created these? Me bara Elah. Who, mem yud, created Elah, aleph lamed hey. And me, who, and Elah, these, get together to create aleph lamed hey yud mem, which is Elohim, which is the name of God. Who and these come, when they get together, they create God. That's what was just said here. Until me created Elah, it did not attain the name Elohim.
Okay.
Based on this mystery, those who sinned with the golden calf said, Elah, these are your gods, Israel.
And so they separated this sort of lower perception, saying that that was the divine.
They separated the response from the question and turned it into an answer.
Right, and having something that's physically concrete that has like a form like that is in fact trying to give an answer to a question that doesn't have an answer.
But if you remove the mystery from religion, you end up with idolatry. If you think you can arrive at answers that fully answer the question, you are worshiping idols. But God is the combination of the response and the question. Like, I love labels like trans and woman, and yet they really mess me up. Because they trick me into thinking I know who I am, when actually I don't know who I am. And I find that the times when I'm like, yeah, I know who I am, I'm a trans woman, that's an answer, I can point to it, and I don't need to worry about it anymore. Those are actually the times when I'm least alive.
Yeah. I mean, it's that pillar over the pit again, right? Like, a lot of times we have to put ourselves out there in ways to prove things to the world that otherwise we might not have to build such tall pillars. We might be able to just sort of live in the pit a little bit more and question things, but because the world already questions us so harshly, just our own existence, it's hard sometimes to not just rest on our laurels a little and go, could you give me a second with my gender, please? We've got to have the these as well, or else we can't make our lives.
Right,
It's okay to have labels. We just can't be like so trapped in the labels that we're separating them from who we truly are.
Yeah. It's like the next line is amazing, and I actually don't like Daniel Matt's translation. So I'm just gonna read it in Aramaic. Uchemad yishtataf mi be'ela, hachi hu shemad yishtataf tadir, uverazada it kayam alma. And because me joins with Elah, so too the name Elohim is constantly combining, is constantly joining, is constantly interweaving. And this is the secret that sustains the world, that the name of God is constantly combining with other things and with itself. Elohim is a multiplicity.
These is so flat, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing to it except these.
Right.
Points at thing.
Right. But then once you ask who, once you give it spirit, then you start combining and you start creating life and you start generating. You seek to be revealed. Because Elah doesn't need to seek to be revealed. Elah is revealed. It is revelation. But then it combines back into the question. Elohim is not just who plus these. It's God.
Right.
It's God. There's this amazing Simone de Beauvoir quote. This is a paraphrase. You could try to understand things in terms of blue and yellow. And things are different amounts of blue and different amounts of yellow. But actually, when you combine blue and yellow, you can't understand what green is by saying it's blue and yellow. You need an intuition of green itself. You can't understand Elohim by saying it's a woohoo and these. You need an intuition of God.
Yes.
And that's gender,
just,
right?
Yeah, it's all just these weird scatter plot points that we've
right.
People have decided that because things are kind of clumped together, it has an intrinsic meaning, and not always the case.
But the truth is, it's constantly combining, and who we are is constantly combining. My gender is not just some 80% femininity and 20% masculinity. You can understand it like that. It's its own living thing that wants to combine.
Yes. I mean, if we're created in the divine image, and the divine image is also stretched between me and Ma and LA, then obviously we do not have a set self, and to pretend we do is to not actually align ourselves with the divine image.
Yes. The divine image that is constantly shifting, constantly multiple, and that itself as a complex unity then continues to combine and join and be in partnership with others. And that is the mystery that creates the world. And if God ever stopped combining and joining and being in partnership with other things, the universe would stop existing. And I just want to read the next line. Elijah flew off, I didn't see him, and I discovered the word whose mysterious secret I have demonstrated. He's gone, Rashbi is alone on the beach. And now back in our current moment, Rabbi Elazar and all the companions came and bowed down in front of him. Weeping, they said, if we have come into the world only to hear this, it is enough. It is enough.
It is. Something about saying it out loud with other humans It makes a whole world of difference.
It literally makes a world. Saying it out loud
Yes.
with
Yes.
other people, it's combining our names together and making a new thing that is the image of God.
Yeah.
Which, God.
Combining our multiplicities of self to make new sparks of the divine image. Yeah.
Lift up your eyes on high and see who created these. This is the secret that sustains the world.
Oh, thank you so much. What a wonderful way to end my day.
Thank you, Reuven. What a wonderful way to begin my day.
It's one of the nice things about my weird hours. It's just like, yep, all the time.
And thank you, Torah lovers, for watching. This episode is sponsored in memory of these beloved neshamas. If you would like to sponsor the learning in memory of a departed loved one, you can become a patron at patreon.com/T4Torah, and also by joining your financial resources with others, you help sustain this world of 100% buy-in for trans Torah. And also, if you are trans and Jewish and you want to learn some wild banana shit like this, you can always reach out to me. My email is in the description. We will make something like this happen. This is the mystery of the universe that has just been revealed before your very eyes. Thank you, Reuven, for being here with me.
Thank you, Lexi.
All right. We will see y'all next time.
הפכת מזוודי למחולי, פיתחת שקים תעזריני שמחה, למען יזמך חבוא ולא ידום, אדוני אלוהי לעולמותיך, היה נה 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 נה